The T squad is Kirsty. You know what time it is. We dropping the tea, sipping that tea. Hey, receipts on the beat, we got the inside steep. Spill it, sip it, serve it, come get it with me. It's dropping the tea, dropping the tea.
We're diving into one of the wildest crossovers between music, law, and ego the industry's ever seen. The Drake versus Kendrick Lamar feud that spilled straight out of the studio and right into federal court. Yep, this wasn't just lyrical shade. Drake actually took it to the legal system. So grab your mugs, because we're unpacking every twist, filing, and secret motive behind this hip-hop courtroom showdown. It all started in spring 2024, when Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us, a diss track that didn't just roast Drake, it straight up accused him of being a predator. The lyrics called Drake a certified pedophile, and the cover art included a map of his Toronto neighborhood marked with fake sex offender pins. That crossed a line for Drake. Diss tracks are one thing, but this? He claimed it wasn't just beef, it was character assassination. Drake fired back with The Heart Part 6, denying every accusation and calling Kendrick's claims lies turned into clout currency. But behind the scenes, Drake wasn't satisfied with just words. He felt the damage was too deep, especially when Not Like Us exploded online, climbing to #1 on charts and being hailed as the anthem of Kendrick's victory. So in January 2025, Drake did what no rapper had done before he sued his own label, Universal Music Group, the same company that also distributes Kendrick's music. The official case, Drake vs. Universal Music Group, filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. He didn't sue Kendrick directly, smart legal strategy, because suing an artist can get tangled up in free speech protections. Instead, he targeted the machine behind the music. UMG knowingly published and promoted false, damaging material, the Not Like Us campaign, while profiting from it. He claimed they ran it like a smear campaign disguised as marketing. Here's what he alleged in his filings. Defamation. He said Kendrick's lyrics accused him of pedophilia, which was completely false and severely harmed his reputation and brand. Reputational damage and financial harm. Drake argued his image as a global artist and father figure was dragged through the mud and that endorsement deals. Brand partnerships and revenue streams took a hit. Negligence and harassment. He said the viral nature of Not Like Us directly caused harassment and even real-world danger, including an attempted break-in at his Toronto home and a security guard being shot in a related incident. Unfair business practices. Drake also accused UMG and Spotify of using artificial promotion tactics, basically bot streams and boosted airplay, to keep Not Like Us at the top of the charts to maximize humiliation and profit. Super Bowl defamation. In his amended complaint, Drake added that Kendrick's Super Bowl halftime performance, where he performed Not Like Us, further spread those defamatory claims to hundreds of millions of viewers worldwide. Drake's lawyers argued that even though some lyrics were censored for TV, the meaning was clear and intentionally damaging. Drake said UMG let it happen, approved the visuals, and cashed the checks so they should share the blame. UMG hit back immediately in March 2025 with a motion to dismiss the case. Their message was sharp. This is not a lawsuit, it's a sore loser's press release. They claimed Drake was trying to rewrite a rap battle he lost by calling it defamation. UMG's lawyers argued that diss tracks are art, not journalism, meaning listeners don't take them literally. They also said Drake, as a public figure, has an extremely high legal burden to prove defamation. He'd have to show actual malice, that UMG knew the statements were false and promoted them anyway. Drake's team responded by expanding discovery. They subpoenaed Kendrick's label contracts, UMG executive emails, including Lucian Grange's, and iHeartMedia radio logs. They even demanded UMG's internal marketing memos to prove the label coordinated the rollout and amplified the diss for profit. Then, in May 2025, a protective order was issued, meaning a lot of those internal records were sealed from public view. That's when the conspiracy talk really started brewing. Because if UMG had nothing to hide, why lock it down? During the summer, the case started to peel back layers of how music promotion really works. Evidence surfaced, suggesting UMG may have paid for priority playlist placement and airplay for Not Like Us through iHeartMedia and Spotify. Drake called it defamation by algorithm. UMG called it standard promotional practice. In August, things heated up again when Drake's lawyers filed a motion to compel custodial documents, demanding emails between UMG executives about Kendrick's rollout strategy. Around the same time, UMG insiders confirmed Kendrick's contract had clauses, giving the label strong creative control, potentially linking them to the final product. But because of that protective order, most of those findings stayed redacted. Fast forward to October 9, 2025. Judge Vargas issued her decision, a 382-page opinion that completely dismissed Drake's lawsuit. Here's the breakdown. The court ruled that Not Like Us was rhetorical hyperbole and artistic expression, meaning the lyrics, no matter how extreme, were part of hip-hop culture's exaggerated and confrontational style, not literal factual claims. The judge wrote, "In the cultural context of competitive rap, a reasonable listener does not interpret diss lyrics as statements of fact." She also noted that the artwork showing sex offender pins around Drake's house was obviously exaggerated and doctored. Basically, no one believes that map was real. On actual malice, the court said Drake failed to prove UMG knew anything was false. There was no evidence that label executives intentionally spread lies, they just released a track by one of their artists. His harassment and business law claims also failed. The judge said Not Like Us isn't a deceptive business act under New York's commercial statutes. In short, the court sided with art. The message? In the rap world, hyperbole isn't defamation, it's culture. Drake's team announced plans to appeal, saying the court didn't take the real-world fallout seriously, especially after fans flooded his home address and online threats spiked. But appeals are uphill battles. Unless new evidence proves UMG knowingly pushed false content, it's likely the decision will stand. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp stayed quiet, only posting one subtle tweet. "Ain't no lie if it's all on the mic." UMG celebrated the win as a victory for creative freedom, saying the ruling protects artists' right to express themselves even if that expression gets brutal. Let's keep it real, this case wasn't just about lyrics. It was about power. Two of UMG's biggest stars on opposite sides of a cultural line fighting for dominance over narrative, reputation, and control of how far art can go. Drake wanted accountability. Kendrick wanted authenticity. And UMG? They wanted profit and plausible deniability. In the end, the law chose expression over emotion, but the public? They're still divided. Some say Drake was right to draw a boundary that modern diss culture goes too far when it spreads dangerous lies. Others argue hip-hop was built on lyrical warfare, and Drake's move to sue showed weakness in a game where you're supposed to answer with bars, not briefs. So, T-Squad, what do you think? Was Drake protecting his name, or just refusing to take an L? And where's the line between free speech and defamation when your platform reaches millions? Whatever side you're on, one thing's clear, this wasn't just a rap beef. It was a legal milestone showing that even in 2025, the intersection of music, media, and the law can get just as messy as any crime story we've ever covered. And, as always, keep sipping that tea. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives on the stories shaking the culture. This is Kirsty, signing off from Dropping the Tea, where we spill it all, and we spill it real. Keep sipping that tea.